Hey guys, Jason with LumaBlade here. Today I wanted to talk to you with, getting started in knife making. If you're watching this video, odds are you're thinking, can I make my own knife? And the answer is, yes you can. You can. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm going to touch on a couple of things because everyone sees different things in different shops and they say, oh my god, I need so much tooling. How can you make it? This is how I got started. I've always collected knives and have been into knives and liked knives. I have an extensive Benchmade collection, extensive zero tolerance collection. I have a big collection and I'm a big advocate of those, Spyderco, all those things. So naturally, it sparked my interest when I went to this rally and I saw for the first time a actual custom knife maker. It was a guy at a little booth, he had a little tent in a van, and he had beautiful, beautiful knives, handmade knives. So that was the day that I bought my first custom knife. I bought that in August of 2015. I bought that knife and I talked to the guy, and the guy is a nice guy. Apparently they're a big company. This is my first custom knife that I purchased. This is a LT Wright. It's a nice little knife. It's made out of D2, but the guy was so helpful. That's the thing about knife makers. Knife makers are willing to help you. They're not gonna hide what their secrets are. Maybe some of the secrets, the folder guys, they might want to give them out to you, but for the most part, knife makers are going to help you along the way with the process. They help me. That's how I got where I am, and I want to turn around and I want to help whoever needs help. So I talked to the guy, and he told me how he does it. Basically, and I'm like, really? That's what you do? And I said, well, I need tools. What tools do I need? Let me be honest with you guys, okay? There are guys out there that make beautiful knives, and they use a file. They make a filing jig. They get this deal. They go to town. They have a coal forge, or they have a coffee can forge. So let me explain to you what I started with. So what I did is I came home. I have friends. Everybody around where I live, they're MacGyvers. They're into doing stuff. They're fixing their own stuff. They don't hire it out. So everybody has some tool, yard sale, fine. So I'm going to take you on a field trip and show you what I started with. A Craftsman 2x42 grinder. That's what I started with. Alright, so a 2x42 grinder, it was a great grinder, man. I outgrew it, but let me tell you, I made my first 30 knives with that. And I made enough money on that grinder to buy my belts, to buy my supplies, to buy my steel, and I made enough money to upgrade to that KMG grinder right there. So that was my first major knife making purchase. But this is the deal. I started with that grinder there. Now I'm going to tell you the history about that grinder. The history of the grinder, one of my friends, fellow construction guy, he buys tools, and if something doesn't right, if the cord goes wrong or something like that, he throws it out. That grinder spent an entire winter outside in his trash can getting covered with snow, rain, sleet. My other friend, who is a recycler type guy, he won't let you throw out anything, and no matter what it is or how broken it is, he thinks he can fix it, and he probably can fix it. He probably, I've seen him fix things that are unbelievable. Anyway, so he took it and he had it over at his house. And when I got back from the rally, I started making calls. Hey, anybody got a belt grinder? Anybody got a belt grinder? So he said, yeah, I got one in my garage. I said, oh, okay. I grabbed it, took it home. It didn't turn on. I WD-40'd it, checked everything, did everything. Thing fired up, ran. I ran that thing non-stop. I mean, 20 knives, maybe 30 knives I did. 30 fixed blades, I think it was. I'm not sure, but I mean, I could look and find out. Forgive me guys, it's late and I'm getting a little loopy, but been working long hours. And that's the other thing. If you want to get into knife making, you got to be committed. You got to put in long hours. Here it is right now, 12:26 in the morning, on a Thursday night, on a work night, and I'm down in my shop making knives, working on projects. You don't need to spend a lot of money to get into it. Go get yourself a Craftsman 2x42, call up True Grit or call up Super Grit, depending on where you live and how fast you want this stuff. Order yourself some 2x42 belts. You're gonna need a 60 grit for roughing, a 120, and yeah, get a 220. But the 220s, until you learn how to grind, you're gonna burn the steel. You're gonna burn your hands. So what I'm gonna do, I have a friend who's a knife maker who's taught me. He's helped me along the way, man. And I got to give him a shout out and a big thank you, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for him helping me along the way. He taught me how to hollow grind. He came to my shop, and he took time out of his day, came to my shop, and he showed me how to hollow grind. It's Ecom Knives. Check out his YouTube channel. It's really great. He's been doing it for longer than me. Like I said, I went from that little tiny thing to my LB1, which I am proud of. I keep showing it, but I'm proud of it, man. I got this thing. Look at that. There is no movement whatsoever. Perfect lockup. Not an early lock. It's a perfect lockup. I've got a perfect lockup going on right there. The only thing that I got to work on is I got to work on my centering. My centering is a little bit, it's a touch off. It's not that bad for my first one. It's a touch off. But you know what that has to do with? That has to do with equipment. Don't get discouraged when you start making knives. Okay? Because nothing is perfect. Nothing I do is perfect. Perfection is something that you have to constantly strive for. But it's one of those things that's kind of unobtainable. But with this, there's a quote that I heard that I love, and I use it all the time. In the pursuit of perfection, you will obtain excellence. And that, my friends, is words to work by. Get your grind on. Go get yourself some basic tools and give it a shot. You got nothing to lose. And let me tell you, it's fun and it's addicting. Okay? So I'm going to give you, my next video is going to be a shop tour of my shop, brief tour. All right, you have a great day. Keep your grind on. Later on.